Welcome back. What it do, what it does, it doesn't. What it is, what it was, what it wasn't. It's your host with the most flavor from the Gulf Coast. It's your maestro with the ill flow. I'm DeeJayUniverse, and I'm stepping it up. Okay, we're going to discuss tonight on the show. This is Ear Candies DJ Podcast, Episode 6. Ear Candies, first of all, that's the first subject we're going to get into. I realized when I was doing the Uni Beach show earlier and brought up what Ear Candies actually stood for, that I never discussed that on the show, Ear Candies DJ Podcast. Why the name Ear Candies? I don't know if you guys were wondering this or not, but, you know, it's a play on word type of feel, because, for instance, I used to read like the extra large magazine, and every magazine issue they would have like a female that was eye candy, because it was candy for the eyes to see the beautiful woman or whatever. So in essence, I took the same type of mentality, mind and Minolta, you know, same thought pattern process here, and took it into me being a DJ and me spinning records, and the records in essence being the candy, and you listening to them through your ears being ear candies that I'm playing. So at the same time, I also have accounts candies where I make candy. So it was kind of a play on words where you might have thought that ear candies represented something that had to do with Counts Candies. But ear candies more is representing towards the music that I play, and being construed as candy for your ears. Like the music that I'm playing is melodic and flavorful to the eardrums. You know, so that's the whole aspect of Ear Candies. And the name Ear Candies DJ Podcast, we're talking about all things DJ, the DJ craft, paying homage and tribute to the DJ. We're going to be having guest DJs on to talk about their experiences as a DJ, what it's like living the lifestyle, having the livelihood of being a DJ, what it takes, and what do you have to go through, and everything that you know, the financial investment just to begin with, if you're, you know, a record collector, is tremendous amount of money and time and effort you have to put into collecting your music collection just to begin with, without having all of your equipment, paying for all of your, you know, software, whatever else it is that you know, continually have a monthly, you know, bill or debt or deduction or expense for your business to write off. Anyway, I also want to apologize. It's been, of course, brought to my attention without, you know, I mean, I've known about it. I haven't talked about it, but it's been brought to my attention that, you know, I don't have the best resolution on my video. Of course, I'm not using any special camera. This is just the camera installed with my MacBook Pro. It's nothing special. It's not high resolution, not 4K, not 1080p, none of that. But because I'm trying to get better and make this show better for all of y'all out there, I've ordered a 4K, 1080p, high resolution webcam to broadcast with. It should be here on Tuesday, so by Wednesday at the latest, I should be up and running with the high resolution video for the shows. Back to the subject at hand. We were talking about the name of the show, Ear Candies, and what the show stood for, DJing and the DJ craft, and what we're doing on this episode tonight is discussing a few different factors. Okay, when I'm DJing, I'm using this Serato DJ Pro. Okay, I just want to show y'all a cool little trick that you can do with this. When you're playing your music, you know, a lot like when you had turntables, you might be able to play a reverse on your turntable. You could do that as well on here on the Serato DJ Pro. So say for instance, I'm playing this hip hop and soul. Okay? This is a beat I made, and in the beat right there, I play the beat backwards after the beat plays for the first set. Or, you know, so anyway, if I take this back, you hear the beat play, and then you hear the beat play backwards. And that's the beat. Right there. Okay, it's over and over again, and I bring in other things on the beat, and this is going to be one of the instrumentals that I made that I'm going to write to. I already have a chorus and everything for it. So before we get into playing this, I'm going to take it back and show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, I just rewound that and then pushed it forward again. And I'm just using the A key on my keyboard and switching it back around. So when it plays the part that I played reversed, when I'm reversing it, it sounds like it's playing forward. And the song, and the part that isn't reversed, it sounds like it's playing in reverse. Pretty cool little technique and little things that you can implement while you're DJing. It doesn't have to be a song like I just was using this as an example to show you how this works. Because you easily do this to any song. You play it, and anytime you want to like just play it in reverse, hit that A, and it'll play in reverse until you hit it back again, and you go back forward again. Okay? See, this is the reverse part. Forward, reverse. Sound. Forward, reverse. It's already in reverse, so forward it sounds like it's in reverse. But then I go reverse, and it sounds like it's forward. Because it's already set up in reverse. Okay? That's just a cool little technique I wanted to show y'all real quick. So, let me stop that, and we're going to go back to the discussion at hand. Okay, so another discussion at hand was, I brought this up on a previous show, I think it was last show as a matter of fact. My days kind of go into the next with each other. I'm so busy, and my schedule stays so hectic. I'm always on my toes, always on the grind, always hustling, always trying to get things done, always trying to get things taken care of before the end of the day, before the day's gone. But, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like I've accomplished things. So that's cool. And tomorrow's another day to get more accomplishments taken care of or done. Lord willing that he gives me another breath to rise up and see another day, you know. So, with that being said, one of the segments I was talking about doing on the show, what I was just bringing up, was a top 5, you know. Top 5. We don't have to just limit it to artists, you know. Originally I thought, okay, top 5 MCs, but, you know, there's other categories that you can put in with top 5s. Like, okay, we can have a top 5 MC list. We can have our top 5 group list, okay? Now, MCs and groups, two separate things. Because, I mean, even when I say KRS-One is my number 1 in my top 5, we go to groups. And KRS-One's still there with Boogie Down Productions in the group category. So, you know, Wu-Tang, The Roots, you know, there's groups up in there that I can't list in the MC category because there's too many people in a group to list as an MC. So we got a top 5 MC list, we got a top 5 group list. Now, here's another category, since we're the Ear Candies DJ podcast, your top 5 DJs of all time, okay? This is the third category. We've got top 5 MCs, top 5 groups, top 5 DJs, and because this is all elements of hip-hop, we're going to bring in stuff like top 5 graph writers. You know, you might not know 5 graph writers, or you might know too many to be able to fit in the category of top 5. But at the same time, it's just a suggestion of a different top 5, you know, grouping that we can come together for our top 5 segment. So the segment's going to consist of naming all the top 5 groups. You got to name your top 5 MCs, your top 5 groups, your top 5 DJs, and, you know, we're going to list more. We might not go with the graph artists. We might go with, you know, breakdancers, breakdance crews, you know, whatever. Like, again, you're kind of limited because when we're talking, like, say if we go back to old school hip hop, you're limited to what was there at that time. You know, Busy Bee, you got your, the Rocksteady crew, and, you know, there's too many to just name off on the top of my head. But they were doing their thing, you know, so we got to think of other little categories in hip hop that we can name off. I mean, you know, top 5 entrepreneurs in hip hop, top 5 clothing companies in hip hop, top 5 alcoholic companies in hip hop. The list could go on. So, you know, let me know in the comments what you think a category for the top 5 segment should be. You know, give me a like, a share, subscribe. Don't forget to donate and you know, pay it forward like I'm doing with y'all. You know, I'm definitely all this time been supporting local artists, especially the ones that came through and started out and like expanded on and made their own career and craft out of starting off in a home studio like mine. You know, that's much love, much respect. So yeah, I definitely want to give everybody their big ups, their respects, their, you know, their tributes, their flowers, if you must, if you will. So, like I said, I want to do this while I'm still here, before it's too late and I'm gone and I can't do it no more. It's going to be another idea gone with the wind. So, at the same time, we're doing it. We're getting it taken care of. That's another check off the list of the bucket list, if that's what you want to call it. I don't like to refer to it as a bucket list. I like to refer to it as a passion list, because this is things that I'm passionate about doing. It's a dire, like, I have to get this done before I die type situation. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't have time to create, oh, what do I want to do before I die bucket list. This is a passion list. I have to, it's so dire that I do this before I die type list. So that's where we're at. We're making sure we got the Uni Beat show popping, where I'm showing off and improving on my production skills on the beats. Then we got the Ear Candies DJ podcast. We're talking and showing off possibly our skills with our DJ sets, if we get to that. But again, this is a DJ podcast, and we're going to be mainly talking through this whole segment, through the whole show. I have little segments here and there where we do their little different things. I do have my Serato DJ Pro hooked up to where I can play some uncopyrighted material, to where they won't mute my show on different platforms, and I can include all the platforms still. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. We're having fun. We're rising above. We're showing more love, and we're so fun. Yo, check me out. I got 3 of my new singles out here on all streaming platforms, all music streaming platforms. I got #Smile Now, Mirrored Images, and Soul Funk. And Soul Funk is, man, it's catchy. I mean, it sticks in your head. It makes you want to get up and dance. I'm speechless. Like, I created that. Wow, my mind is blown. So, you know, in advance, thank you. I appreciate all the respect and love, you coming out and supporting me, showing up to be here for my show, to listen to me brag on, and you know, whatever else I might have to run off at the top of the dome with, because this is, of course, unscripted. I don't have any concepts or any ideas to just be like, oh, let's throw this in there as content. You know, I came up with the segment idea last night on the show. Top of the spot, on the top of the dome. So anyway, as you can tell, like, I'm jumbling my words together. I might be saying things fast. I might be slurring my speech. I have not rehearsed or practiced none of this. This is all unscripted off the top of my dome. How I'm feeling at the moment. Let's go with it. Spur of the moment. Here we go. I'm going to tell you how I feel off the top of my dome. There's no room for making it up, faking the funk, lying about anything. I'm going to give you my energy and my soul and my heart and my spirit, all fully intact, live streamed to you in real time on all platforms. Well, maybe not all platforms, but streaming on 4 platforms at least. We got Twitter, we got Twitch, we got Facebook, and we got YouTube. All simultaneously streaming at the same time. You can catch me on any platform right now saying the same thing. And I'm doing the same thing. This is the same show. So anyway, yeah, that's how we're doing things nowadays. Technology has allowed us this chance to be able to do this. Like, I could have done this 25, 30 years ago had technology been advanced enough, but we were so ahead of our time. We were doing this before there was even a live stream invented. You know, you know, I definitely want to tip my hat to the people who invented live streaming. But before you guys invented it, we were doing this in our heads. We had camcorders, and we was out there on the street, and we was doing this without live streaming, pretty much as if we were live streaming. But anyway, I'm telling you right now, by Wednesday, I'm going to have the 4K high resolution video. Is going to be a much better experience. I'm sorry that I haven't provided that from the beginning. I'm kind of just getting started with the whole live streaming thing. Before it was less technology. I'm learning as I go. I'm getting better at it as I go. Any suggestions you have, thank you. Mayhem, for throwing that out there about the low resolution video. I definitely appreciate all the feedback I can get. And like I said, you know, whether the intent is negative or positive, I'm going to take it as positive feedback, because that's going to help me be better as a host, as a DJ, as a person for a show that I'm live streaming for y'all. And the whole intent is for me to get better, for y'all to be better off of. You know what I'm saying? We go through my experiences, and you can learn from that. And that way you don't have to, say, learn the hard way or go through it again because you didn't know that I had already went through it previously because you never heard the story. But anyway, I digress. Again, we're talking about this DJ stuff. And when it comes to DJing, you got to know your tips and your tricks and your ways around all the red tape and BS and fakeness and trying to sell and buy you. And it's just it's not a fun game to be in. It kind of drags your spirit down, and it takes you away from being an expressive, artistic person in your craft. So you know, you can't get into all that. It's much better, in my opinion, to come out independent, to do it on your own, to not have all these distractions and all these people in your ears and all this, you know, weighing you down on what you really can be and how you can expand and how you can take off. And there's endless possibilities and so much you can do as long as you are focused and you control of your own destiny and your own career. You can make it and do it as an independent. I'm not saying you won't need the industry, you know, down the line. If you are trying to become something more than what you can be locally or known as in your circles, and you know, even if maybe you have a video here or two that goes viral and this and that, and you got a little following, there's nothing more industry than being in the industry. So you can't be industry if you're not industry, and if you don't take that leap to become industry, you'll never become industry. So I'm not knocking industry, not, you know, but at the same time, when you cross the line and you go from independent to industry, now all of a sudden you're restricted in areas where you weren't as an independent. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that one or the other is better than the other, that you should choose one or the other in any path. It's your choice to make. I'm just comparing the two differences. Whereas you're restricted in independent, when you're restricted in the industry, you're not as an independent. So, again, we were talking about little tips and tricks on here on the Serato DJ Pro as well. I showed you the little reverse technique. I'm not going to show you a bunch of techniques all on one show and have no more content to talk about on other shows. So that was just the one tip and trick that I showed you on episode 6 here, was the reverse. And like I said, if you're working from a keyboard, it's just a simple A. Hit the A button. I think it might be differently. That was on the second channel. When I was over here on the right channel, on channel 1, yeah, it's Q. That's forward. Q again is backwards. Q and A. Q for your number 1 and A for your number 2. Just Q, Q for number 1 and A for number 2. That's how you get them to go forward and reverse. And again, this is the instrumental for Intervisions, and this is the beat that I've been writing to, the current one I'm writing to. So you can get that going, and then, okay, there's the bass coming in. Then reverse it. And again, you know, you can control how much of a reverse you want to do, but as soon as you hit it back, it's going to go forward again. So that's that song. Now, when you're over here on number 2, like I said, Q don't work. You got to hit A. A is forward and reverse. on number 2s. And this is the hip hop and soul instrumental over here on number 2. Okay? And when I say 1s and 2s, that's another thing we need to discuss. I don't know how I put up another song. That was not supposed to happen. So anyway, let me put this back in there where it was at. And 1s and 2s. When I had turntables, I had the number 1 turntable and the number 2 turntables. There was 2 turntables. There was the 1 and the 2. Okay? So now I'm on this software, and I have no physical turntables, but I still have a right side and a left side. Okay? And my left side over here of the screen is labeled number 1, and my right side on the screen is labeled number 2. So, right now, on the number 1 deck, or the number 1 turntable, or the number 1 track, or the number 1 side, or the number 1, whatever you want to call it, whatever your terminology might be for this in the software, your number 1, I have loaded with my instrumental, my Unibeats, Inner Visions. Then on the other, number 2, I have Hip Hop and Soul, another Unibeats, Uninstrumental. Okay? Both of these songs, both of these instrumentals are going to be written to by yours truly and going to be tracks on my album, Reawakening. There is going to be an instrumental album I put out that's not on the Reawakening album, because that's not an instrumental album. That's my solo album with my actual lyrics over the beats that I did. The other instrumental album I have come out after Reawakening, my solo album, will be my instrumental album, and it's called Uninstrumentals. Unibeats Uninstrumentals. And that's the terminology I coined for my beats that I make, Uninstrumentals, because they're instrumentals made by DeeJayUniverse. Uninstrumentals. I just combined it, Uninstrumentals, and I have my beats already coined the term for those, Unibeats. So, Unibeats are my actual beats that I put out, and the album that I'm going to have with my Uninstrumentals, with my Unibeats, are going to be entitled Uninstrumentals. So Unibeats Uninstrumentals. It's kind of a tongue twister, but I like it like that. I'm a tongue twister kind of guy. So, if you like it like that, give me a thumbs up, a like, a subscribe, a share, a comment, a donation, however you want to contribute to the cause that I'm going forward with here. With these shows, I mean, like I said, not only am I working on my solo album and my instrumental album, I'm making beats daily on the Unibeat show. I'm coming to you every evening with the DJ podcast, Ear Candies DJ podcast, and I'm trying to put in as much work as I can on top of all the other responsibilities that I have as being a single parent and being out here trying to make my way in society, especially down here in the southern part of the country, down here on the Gulf Coast of Florida, with the pandemic going on, being evicted, wrongfully evicted during that, making out of a place, moving around, buying an RV, setting up shop, making it a home studio, making it my little DJ controls command center setup, or whatever you want to call it, whatnot. I'm coming to you, streaming to you live from right there. Right there, that's where I'm at. Everlasting Impression Studios, in my RV, Products and Society, LLC, Counts Candies, Unibeats, Uninstrumentals, Ear Candies, DJ Podcast, and the Unibeat Show. Okay? Trying to make as much content, bring as much energy, and bring as much paying it forward as possible. I want to inspire, and if I can't put in more work than you're doing yourself, how can I expect to inspire anyone else? I have to put in more work. I have to work harder. I have to hustle harder. I have to put in more grind hours. I have to put in more sacrifice. I have to sacrifice more sleep. I have to put in more education. I had to continue to drain my energy by pumping my intellect full of new ways and innovative ways of coming at y'all correct, coming proper like. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you got to do when you want to bring it as a DJ. If you want to make it as a DJ, you got to bring it proper like, okay? Just remember that. You gotta be proper. to be a DJ. How many DJs you know that weren't proper like? If they were, they probably didn't make it as a DJ. So that's all I got to say about that. We'll move on. Keeping it moving to the KIM. Okay. We've gotten to almost the halfway point of the show. And all I've done was run my mouth and tell you little things here and there and showed you little tricks. But I never played an actual song yet. Queued up. Let me play this hip hop and soul beat for you. It's set up to go and rewind, so I'm going to have to push this to go forward, and bam, here we go. Yo, it's DeeJayUniverse. I'm on the microphone. I like to call home every time I'm out of town. Check in and say I love you to the fam, cause you know that's the kind of man that I am. Like the little busted on the flow, even though I had a little interruption cause I left it silent on the track. That was just for the people that I respect that aren't here anymore. You gotta give them a moment of silence sometimes just to honor and respect the fact that you know
hip hop, hip hop, hip hop and soul, hip hop and soul, hip hop.
I'm sorry, I'm not gonna freestyle over everything, I promise. Promise.
Hip hop soul,
I am trying to entertain you though, so that will continue and won't cease. I'm gonna continue to entertain and amaze and put you in a daze. No, I'm just playing. But that's what I do. You know, I'm in the entertainment business. I'm an audio and video technician. I do what I can with the videos and the music. Coming to you through audio and video. Hey, it's gonna get better. Like I said, all I'm doing is bettering myself and continuing to try to better myself. Never do I think I'm ever gonna be the best. Even though I might say I'm the best, I know I have to continually strive to try and be the best, because I'll never be the best. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. Just like you'll never be perfect. You know, you gotta strive to be perfect, even though it's something, that's the Wu-Tang thing, you know what I mean? You can never be perfect, but you gotta strive for that, regardless. You know, you can never be righteous, you know, but you can strive for righteousness regardless. You know, it shows what kind of character you are. Even though you know you can't be righteous, you still strive for righteousness? You know how good that looks on you? What? Okay.
hip hop, hip hop, hip hop and soul, hip hop and soul, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop and soul, hip hop and soul,
I just throw that air horn in there, man. That just pops it off right there. I'm gonna come hard on this track. I'm gonna bring it hard on this one. And the interventions, I'm gonna be deep. It's gonna be a deep. I've already been working on lyrics, and the lyrics are deep on interventions. This one though, I'm gonna bring it hard. It's gonna be hard like that bass.
hip hop and soul, hip hop and soul, hip hop,
I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm excited! All right, as we're wrapping up the end of this little instrumental, I'm going to continue to keep it moving to the KIM. And I'll just continue to flap my lips for the next half hour or so. I mean, I do have other beats to play, of course. And this is where I'm getting into. I want to have some guests come on the show. Y'all, hit me up. We can have your people call my people, whatever you got to do. Get you on the show. Come get yourself scheduled. We'll have you. If you want video, we'll line up some video. If not, we can have you call live on the show and have your voice on the show. So tell me what you want to do. You can be on the show and we can get down on the topic talking about DJing and the DJ craft and what it takes to be a DJ and the livelihood, you know, everything that you get out of being a DJ. What gives you the passion to DJ? What makes you keep wanting to do it? What makes you not want to stop? You know, what brings the flame under your feet to make you want to keep stepping? You know what I mean? So just let me know what you want to do. You can leave, give me a like, subscribe, share, whatever you want to do. Donate to the cause. You know what I'm saying? Connect with me. That's the main thing. Get at your boy over here, DeeJayUniverse. I'm holding it down by myself. I need some help. Come help me hold down the fort, bruh. For real. Well, I don't need any guest appearances on my solo album, but it would be cool. I could get down with a guest appearance. You know what I'm saying? It's all good if I don't. Because guess what? I'm doing it without any so far. And I'll continue to do so until we get some people on my tracks. And if I'm not what you want to hear, if you don't want to be on a collab with me, that's fine. Like I said, my beats are for lease. They're for sale. And I'm going to be, this is another topic I was going to bring up again in the show that we talked about the other night. Starting a giveaway, a beat giveaway. And it's going to be like a contest or competition or something. Somewhat competition. The winner of which will be getting a free uni beat to do it as you please. If you want to write to it, if you want to blah, 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 blah. If not, hey, sit on it. Let it collect dust until maybe your grandkid down the generations wants to MC and he's like, oh, you had this beat, you had this uni beat, I'm going to spit to it. You know, whatever. That's what we're going to do, though. We're going to give away a free beat to one of our competition winners, contest winners, however we go about it. You can also be a part of the contemplation process if you want to tell me a way or a certain, you know, particular thing that I should do for setting up a contest or competition in this format so as to award somebody a free beat. If not, it's okay. I'll figure it out on my own. Like I said, we're going to do what we can do to keep entertaining and keep bringing you better content, bringing you better versions of ourselves, bringing you better versions of the show. Like I said, I just as soon as I'll have better quality video. I've already been bringing you better quality audio. I've been trying to do every technicality I can to be more of an entertainer. My responsibility of running these shows, performing these shows, live streaming these shows, if you will, whatever you must. I will never cease to continue to try to be better at what I'm doing for y'all. No matter what. No matter what, I'm always going to try to be better. I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to try to make myself a better version of myself for the next time you see me. Every time, no matter what. You can bank on that and you can guarantee it. So, as I take a little moment to take a toke, let's get back to talking about DJing, man. 25 years of DJing, I got some stories for y'all. I got some experiences to tell y'all about. And one I like to think about the most is, for some reason, this was a Briggs dance that I wasn't DJing, but the DJ was whack. He was garbage, and his sound sucked, and the crowd was becoming agitated about it. His sound system cut out. And I remember Chuck Starr came up to me and said, "Yo, Steve, go show this DJ how it's done." So I went over there to go investigate and figure out what his problem was. Like, what are you doing? Like, I could come over here literally and DJ and be better than you at this, and I have and will continue to. Why are you even here? Who paid you? Who booked you? So anyway, I helped him get his sound system going back again, and best believe after that, I started doing more of the dances at Briggs. And that guy, I don't remember him ever being booked and ever having a show there ever again. So anyway, that's just, oh, there I go again. Every show, I have to knock my light over. This is just a bad placing for my light. I don't like it. But hey, it's up in my face. It gives me better lighting. And I just got to try not to knock it off, I guess, you know. I'm over here fidgeting around, doing what I can, trying to come up with the next little piece of information I can give y'all without dragging, without seeming like I'm not coming up with content on the spot, because that's what I'm doing. All my content, it's all on the spot, on the top of my head. Nothing scripted, nothing's written down. I haven't rehearsed this. First time I'm saying it. I might have thought about things before I said it. Of course, like I said, a couple of these segments we're talking about, we thought of on the spot on another show previous to this show. And we're learning as we go. And we're getting better as we go. With that being said, I think it's time for another song. I think you're tired of hearing me rap and flow, and you just want to hear one of my beats, like this Inner Visions beat that I'm writing to right now. Without me saying anything, you want to listen to it and vibe. I know, I got it. Here we go. I'm going to shut up. Zip it up, play. album is gonna be hard off the chain. I got 3 tracks done. These other 2 I'm working on. That'll be 5. Then I'm gonna at least come up with 5 more after that. I'm gonna have at least 10 tracks on the album. I know you can have 8 to an album, but I'm gonna have at least 10 tracks on my album. And I'm thinking about including the bonus 2, just my old songs, because, you know, they were released this year and they're not a part of any other album really. So I'm just gonna have them as like bonus tracks to the album. So yeah, basically it'll be a 12-track album, 10 new tracks and 2 bonus tracks that are older tracks, and that's how we're gonna run that Reawakening album. Okay. When I come with my instrumental album, I might actually come with like a 16-track album, because of how many instrumentals I got. I mean, they're piling up fast. So possibly my second, you know, my sophomore album, when I come out with that, might be a 16-track album as well. Just depends on how much content and how much work I want to put into my second album. So yeah, definitely always thinking ahead and into the future before you ever even know about it. I've always been caught ahead of my time. I've always been way more advanced in my thinking than most people that I know. Not that I know how advanced their thinking are either, you know. For all I know, they might be more advanced than me. But to my recollection, most things that I was doing back before I was of age to do things like I was doing things, I didn't know anybody else my age doing things like I was doing things like back then. So, you know, to me, that's ahead of my time. When I was 6 years old, before they even handed me a camcorder, and I was coming up with my own little shows in my head and having my own little audience, not caring who was there to see or not. Like, I didn't care if I was entertaining anybody or not. As long as I was entertaining the fictional audience in my head, I was fine. You know what I mean? But they threw that camera in my hand, and I started thinking about everybody else. Like, wait a minute. There's a much bigger crowd than this fictional crowd in my head. And that's where it began, really. 6 years old, I was, you know, in my head, I was producer of the year with or without a camera. Just having the camera, having a camcorder made it that much easier for me to obtain that. But with that being said, I was a kid. I was naive, young, full of energy. Once you start really learning, things change. Your aspects and your goals adjust to those changes, and you're like, okay, I see what's going on here. I might just sit back and continue to hustle and continue to grind and watch the scene and see how everything goes and invest in other people and watch their careers grow. And then one day I'm gonna come out with me, and I'm gonna be hard, and I'm gonna be on top of my like I said, ahead of my time, because really I'm behind my time right now. I should have had my album come out 22 years ago, to tell you the truth. But nowadays I might not be considered ahead of my time, even though in my head I'm still ahead of my time. But I know I'm behind on things. I know I need to catch up. I need to catch up on my video quality. I need to catch up on a lot of different aspects with a lot of different subjects. But I'm doing the best that I can with situation I've been, dealt. So, hey, that's how the what was it? The cookie crumbles. So, Evan Almighty, that's how the cookie crumbles. You know what I'm saying? That's just how the dice gets rolled. You know what I'm saying? That's the way the water flows in the river. You know what I mean? This is how it goes. The earth rotates on its axis. You know what I'm saying? On its journey through the galaxy, or the Milky Way, or around the sun, or however you want to say it. Like, that's just how things go. You got to accept it, and you have to move with the flow. You have to go with the flow. You have to be a part of that. You have to become a part of the energy that's flowing through you. That's another subject for another day, another time, another episode. For right now, we're gonna keep it moving with some of these uni beats, some of these uni instrumentals. Let's load this one up here. And this is that trap beat I made. We're gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and rock it. I could definitely snap to this beat, but at the same time, I'm not a trap artist and I'm not really trying to snap to a trap beat, but I made this for a trap artist to snap to, so all I'm saying. We does it like that. We does it like this, and we does it like that. We does it like this, and we does it like that. We does it like this, and we does it like that. We does it like this, and we does it like that. What? I just came up with a dope hook for this trap beat on my show. In the middle of my content, yo. Off of the top of my dome. Peace, here I go. Spreading the peace all the way around the world to Greece. You know I'm about to make you cease the hatred, cause you are down with the devil, he is a beast. Oh, here I am on the flow, on the Ear Candies DJ podcast show. Yo, next thing you know, this beat was coming straight from DeeJayUniverse. Oh, I think I came off of the beat, but now I'm back on it and I have to say sweet. Yo, I'll sweep you off your feet every time you hear my technique. When I'm rhyming, I'm saying and I'm spraying every day. I'm amazing and I got to keep going, and I'm flowing on to the beat, not knowing what I'm even saying, cause I'm just coming up with it on the top of the spot on the dome piece. I'm not the rock, here I go, I'm about to drop. Here I go, pop, pop, as I load up my mental bullets in my brain, yo. Then I let him release and it goes, po, yo, ho. On the trap beat, I just busted a blitz flow. Get to go. Got to jump it up with my shit techniques, cause you know I'm switching sweet when I switch it up with my beat. Uni Beat Show or Ear Candies DJ Podcast, you know I got to get it on and on every time I rock, cause I got that on the top of the spot, on the knot. Here we go, I rock, I'm never gonna stop. You know how I am. Yo, I don't know why I said I was gonna not freestyle over the beat, and then half the beat I just freestyled over it. What am I doing, yo? And then here we go. I didn't mean to start that, yo. I didn't mean to get you hyped up. That's the hashtag Smile Now beat. I'm gonna play that, just not now. I apologize. I was not going to freestyle to my beats. I was not going to do it. But I kind of burst the energy during that trap beat, and I kind of just went off. I think I zoned out. I will try not to do that again. I apologize. It's not a bad thing for me to freestyle to my beats. I had told you I wouldn't, and then I did. That's something I have a problem with. I don't like contradicting what I tell you, but that does happen to me often. As a matter of fact, I will contradict what I say. As a matter of fact, this is why I was telling you. When I learn on my own and I rely on the sources of information that I get from the, sources I get them from, they could be wrong. I might be corrected. I could stand corrected. And I have standed corrected several times in my life, and I will own up to it and admit it. On the show, if I said something that's wrong, let me know. In the comments or on the show live, we'll hash it out, and I'll stand corrected. Like I said, I apologize. I did not think that I was going to bust a flow to my beats, and then, bam, there I did. I did it. I contradicted my own self. It happens. It happens to the best of us. So, especially when it's not, this isn't scripted or planned out. I didn't plan on busting a flow, but yet, that's how I felt like at the moment. That trap beat just took me in. It's like a what do they call it? A tractor beam. It honed me in. Like, I don't know. I apologize. I will try to control contradicting myself on my own show, because I know it'll happen again. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen again, because then I'll definitely contradict myself again. That happens to me. You know what I mean? It happens to the best of us. So, at the same time, like I said, I'm continuing to try to better myself, and I'll continue to try not to contradict myself on my show like that. Normally if I say I'm not going to do something, I'm not going to do it. My word is my bond. But I'm a producer. I'm producing these beats, and I'm playing the beats, and I also am a lyrical artist, and I come up with content for my beats, and it's been known to happen, and I get these little bursts of energy from my own bursts of energy, and that happens. I hope you don't, judge me for it or think I'm a less of a person because of it. I'm definitely not judging you if you do so, or thinking you're less of a person if you do so or not. So anyway, like I said, I still give you your props and your big ups and your respect and your flowers, and thanks again for joining me on this episode 6 of Ear Candies DJ Podcast, where I'm learning as I go. We're all humans out here, And like I said, if it wasn't for falling down, you wouldn't know how to get back up. If it wasn't for crawling, you wouldn't even know how to attempt to get up and walk. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that you have to do before you can do anything else. And that's just a part of your journey and your progression in life. So, with that being said, I'm getting towards the end of the show. I want to go ahead now and play my Smile Now beat. And without further ado, hashtag Smile Now beat. I promise I won't write the lyrics for this either, because I know them all. I wrote them. Anyway. That's another subject we can talk about on the show. We can even have a segment on ghostwriting. I don't use ghostwriters. I write my own material. Like I said, all my lyrics are written by yours truly. No one else. Not that, ghostwriting is bad. That's why I said we can have a segment on it, because I can truly benefit from hiring a ghostwriter. I might actually do better than coming up with my own content. However, I'm a lyrical content creator. I come up with my own content. I don't think about asking somebody else to do that for me. You know, it's not something that's usually on my mind. That's why I say we can have a segment on. Let's talk about this. We need to discuss ghostwriting. That could be another segment. But that's more, you know, on the MC and